Hey, ¿qué es la que hay, mi gente? It's Rocky here from SpeakSpanishFaster.com. And in today's video, I want to talk to you about how to learn Spanish with Netflix. Now, if you've been on this channel, if you've been watching my videos for a while, then you know I have already done a video on how to learn Spanish with Netflix. That was like maybe like a year and a half ago. So it's been a while. And I'll say that my strategy has kind of upgraded a little, it's changed a little bit. And even the tool that I use to learn Spanish or learn languages with Netflix has changed. So in today's video, I just want to kind of do an updated version of that video. I know a lot of you guys enjoyed that video and a lot of people like Netflix. I mean, who doesn't like Netflix? And many of us have Netflix and we waste a lot of time watching Netflix. I'm guilty of this too. But a great way to not waste that time is you can still spend that time watching Netflix, but just do so watching Spanish or listening to Spanish, watching Spanish shows, so that you are still chilling, relaxing, but also learning a new language or improving your Spanish. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the new tool that I'm using. It's 100% free. It's not my tool. I'm not selling it or anything. Highly recommended. Just go on Google Chrome and you can download it. I'll show you how to do it. You add the tool to your browser, you use it with Netflix, and then I'll kind of walk you through the step-by-step process that I follow, whether you're just a beginner or you're a little more advanced. I'll have like two different strategies so that you can kind of tweak it to match so that it can meet you where you are at, because I know everybody is at a different place in their Spanish learning journey. So it's only right that I kind of give you a method that can be tweaked to meet you where you are at in that journey. And then I'll show you another hack that I've recently been doing with Netflix to just continue to enjoy language learning, to enjoy the process, because that's another thing that prevents a lot of people from seeing great results is they just get bored, they just lose interest, they just lose consistency. So this video, I think, is going to help you keep learning Spanish entertaining for you, because even if you have some of my courses, sometimes you might just need a change of scenery for a day or two, or maybe you just need to do something else, or maybe you want to double or triple your ability to learn. You want to speed up the process. So you want to do something in addition to some of my courses and some of my videos here on YouTube. So I think this is going to open up a whole new avenue for some people, and it's going to add on to what a lot of you are already working on. So without further ado, let's jump straight into it. Okay, so here we are on Netflix. Now, the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go to Google, and you want to search the Chrome extension or the Chrome web store, basically. And once you get here, you simply download this language reactor tool right here. Now, if you watch my last video on how to learn Spanish with Netflix, the actual extension we use was language learning with Netflix. But that company, I guess they got rid of that tool and they upgraded to this tool. So this is the new tool. Still the same company, just a different Chrome extension, a newer, more upgraded, better version. All right, so you would click that and you would add it to your Chrome. Now, one cool thing is this company, they also have the language learning extension, language learning with YouTube. So they've kind of combined both the YouTube and the Netflix into one Chrome extension. So now you just download this one extension and you can use this on both Netflix and YouTube. And it works the same way on both, so I'm not going to show you again how to use it on YouTube because it works exactly the same way, where you just click the button while watching the video. You'll see what I mean in a second. But a cool thing here is that they have a catalog that you can go to that will show you some shows in Spanish if you choose to, that's your source language. And there are a lot of shows. And I also recommend just doing basic Google searches for like the best Spanish shows on Netflix. So that way you can find some of the most popular ones that will probably be entertaining. So once you're on Netflix, you simply pick the show you want to watch. This is a new show. It's called Carmel. And I love kind of these murder mystery shows and stuff. So that's usually what you'll see me watching. But how this works is once you download the language reactor, you will see this little button right here on your video. You click that, and now when the video plays, let me mute this because I don't want to get any copyright issues. But when you play the video, you'll notice how the Spanish is on top and English is on the bottom. So that's one way that you can just use this right off the bat. Now, to be honest, I use this different ways, okay? So I kind of go through a process, which is what I want to share with you on this video. This kind of the process I go through when I am using Netflix to learn any language. The first thing I do is I click here, and this will show you the entire script for the whole show, and I export this. And then with Netflix, you can always choose the human translation. With YouTube, many videos don't have the human translation. They just have the machine translation. So that's one reason I love Netflix, is usually the transcript and the translation is very accurate. So we go to export, and now look what I have here. Side by side document. Spanish on the left, English on the right. Now, usually what I will do is I will read, kind of just briefly skim this so I can get a gist for what the content is about. Maybe see, are there some words that I already don't know right off the bat? And immediately I will write down some of those words so I can kind of know, okay, when I'm introduced to this word, when I'm watching the video, I'll actually know it now. Basically, what you're doing, we know the importance, or I talk about it at least on this channel all the time, the importance of comprehensible input, consuming content that you can comprehend. Well, one way to kind of hack the system is to make the content comprehensible before you even consume it. And this is a great way to do it. It also helps you with your input because you're actually getting reading input. Input isn't just listening, it's also reading. So you're getting reading input, you're familiarizing yourself with the content before you even watch it. Now, once I go through that, the next thing that I do is I will just have the subtitles in Spanish first. And you can watch it in just with the Spanish subtitles. And then the second time through, so I'll watch it again. And this is for beginners. So I kind of break this down in both ways. All right. So you kind of have the beginning of your Spanish learning journey where you can't really consume long form content because you don't understand it well enough. So what you have to do is you have to break these videos down. So this is a hour-long show. Well, if I was just getting started or if I was not that advanced, what I would do is break this down into many 5-minute segments. So each day I would just consume 5 minutes of the show, and I would go through this process that I just showed you. So I would only go through these first 5 minutes, and that's not too much, right? You should be able to go through this a few times, because if you're studying for, say, 30 minutes to an hour a day, you can read the first 5 minutes. You can watch this with the Spanish subtitles first, and that'll take 5 minutes, right? Because the show, you're only watching 5 minutes. Then watch it again with the English subtitles, but you're still listening in Spanish. Then what I do, so I have Language Reactor off right now, and I'm just watching with the Spanish subtitles and then the English subtitles. The third time through, and remember, we're only watching 5-minute segments here, and this is for beginners. I'll talk about what to do next when you get more advanced. The next thing we do is we turn this on, and now we have this combination up here of Spanish and English on the bottom. And now when you're going through it, you can pause on sections where there's a word that you don't know. Maybe you missed this word when you were just skimming it. So you pause it and you write it down. And it makes things quicker because now you have the word and the translation. So you don't have to write down the word and then go on Google Translate or go on Spanish dictionary and find the translation. You automatically have it. So you save yourself a lot of time. So we have one time read through with the Spanish subtitles, one time with the English. The third time through, you are using the language reactor to see both at the same time. Focus on the Spanish one, but pausing it when you need to write down a word that you don't know. The final time, you will go back, rewind to the front, turn off the language reactor, turn off subtitles, and just watch it and listen to it without reading at all. All right, now this might seem tedious and it might take time. It might take a week to get through an episode. But trust me, after you do this a few times, you'll start flying through the episodes. You won't have to break it down to 5-minute segments because you won't have to write down so many words. That's the only reason we have to break it down, is because I don't want you to have to write down 50 words. That's too many. You should only be writing down like 10, 15, maybe 20 words, depending on how long you practice for that day. But if you find yourself writing down too many words that you don't know, it means you need to shorten the amount of time you are watching the show. But eventually, as you get better and your knowledge expands and the more words you learn, the less words you have to write down, which means the longer you can watch the show. And eventually, you'll get to the point where you don't need to write down a lot of words. And at that point, you can just watch the long form content. So you can do this two ways. You can just watch it the whole time with the language reactor on, or watch it the whole time with just the Spanish subtitles on. I still recommend having subtitles even when you master Spanish, because it helps you listen and read at the same time. I mean, if you can get two forms of input in at the same time, why not, right? Why waste that time only getting one if you could get two? That is kind of the system I use with Netflix. Now, there is one more tip that I want to give to you, is I don't always just pick a Spanish show. What I've been doing lately is picking an English show, a show that I love, a show that I've watched many times. And this is How to Get Away with Murder. I told you I love these type of crime shows or documentaries, both. But basically, this is a show that's in English. What I like to do is I will turn the audio into a Spanish, so it'll be a Spanish dub, and I'll put the subtitles in Spanish. And this helps out for a lot of reasons, because, and you could do this with English movies on Netflix, but especially it works well with things that you love, movies that you love, that you've seen a lot of times, and you know what this content is about. So essentially, if you already know many of the lines from the movie, when you watch in Spanish with the Spanish subtitles, even if there is a word you don't know, you'll be like, wait, but I remember the movie, she said this at this point. And you're already familiar with the content, you're familiar with the story. So it's very easy to learn the words that are being presented. So don't think you always have to find Spanish shows. Sometimes it's hard, like you might not be interested in the type of content that they're making for these Spanish shows. Well, just go find an English show that you like and watch the dubbed version in Spanish with the voiceover. Now, there is one thing I will say when you're doing this, and I don't know why this happens, but when you watch a Spanish dub, it's not 100, the voice and the text is not 100% congruent. They're very similar, but it's not always the same. Sometimes they will say a sentence differently in the voice than it's written on the screen. The reason I think this happens is because I think they take the text right here, the subtitle text, and they translate it with the English text. But when they're speaking it in Spanish, doing the actual voiceover, they have to change the words to make it a little more natural and not a direct translation. So sometimes, like I said, the voiceover is going to be different than the text that you see on the screen. Now, this might make a lot of people mad. This might make you discouraged, but this is not any reason to get discouraged. This is actually good, because it not only does it challenge you to focus, but it also challenges you to recall words, because you'll say, wait, the voice said this, but the text says this. Oh, so those two things mean the same thing. So now you're recalling some new words, and you are learning different ways to say the same thing. So now you are increasing your vocabulary, and you're increasing your sentence structure, or your ability to put together sentences, because you hear it one way and you see it another way, and essentially they both mean the same thing. So it's a great way to continue to get better with your Spanish. I hope you found this video helpful, and if you are looking to take your Spanish to the next level, definitely check out our free training. It's called the 3 Secrets to Learn Spanish Faster. I will also put that link in the comments for you. Scroll down, check it out. It will definitely help you transform your Spanish so that you could speak and comprehend Spanish better, faster. If you enjoyed the video, do me a big favor, hit the thumbs up for me, comment below, let me know anything you need help with or just to give me good feedback. If you enjoyed the video, definitely comment and let me know. Also, instead of maybe commenting what you need help with, you may want to fill out that Google form. It's quick. I don't really ask for any information from you. All I do is ask, what video topics would you like to see on the channel? Your name, email, none of that is necessary. But that's easier for me to keep track of all the topics that you guys want to see on the channel, because we get a decent amount of comments on the channel, and a lot of times those comments can just get lost. So it's easier for me to keep track of the content you want to see if it's all just in one hub. All right, so definitely do that for me. Last but not least, please do not forget to subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications so you never miss another video. Until next time, I'll see you then.